The chest is one of those muscles that automatically makes an impression. Whether you're in a sweatshirt, t-shirt, or you're walking around shirtless, your chest is a can't-miss muscle group. And if it's broad and muscular, your chest will instantly boost your image as powerful, masculine, and in charge. In today's video, we're going to run through the best science-based workout routine for building mass on your pecs. First up, let's talk about the pecs anatomy and what functions they carry out. The pecs are split into two: the pectoralis minor, which is a small muscle located underneath the larger pectoralis major, which is where our focus will be. The pec major is then further split into two distinct heads: the sternocostal head and the clavicular head, also known as the upper chest. Both heads converge into one and insert into the humerus. The main function of the chest as a whole is to horizontally adduct the shoulder joint or bring the arm across the body. The clavicular head also acts to flex the shoulder joint or raise your arm up in front of you and internally rotate your shoulder. We must also consider the angle at which the fibers lie. If we understand this, applying a force along the direction in which they run should lead to the most amount of stretch on the muscle, which will ultimately lead to a greater stimulus and therefore greater levels of muscle growth. When it comes to how often you should train your chest, the most recent available research would suggest that overall training volume supersedes training frequency. In other words, it's not about how often you train your chest, but how much work you do. However, slightly older research from the same researchers has suggested that training a muscle group more than once per week, even when volume is held constant, seems to be advantageous. Now, before you dismiss either stance, understand this. First, increasing training frequency is a great way to increase volume. Second, strength is a skill. The more you practice a lift, the better you'll get at it. And if progressive overload is the main pathway by which we build muscle, it's crucial that we train in a manner that allows us to get stronger. My recommendation is to follow a training split that allows you to get enough volume while also providing a high enough frequency to maximize growth. For most, I suggest training your chest twice per week, as this fits perfectly into an upper-lower routine or a push-pull legs type of split. We also have to think about the fiber composition of the pecs, and what research seems to show is that the pec major is predominantly fast twitch type 2 fibers. This means that the chest should respond best to heavier loads. We know that mechanical tension is one of the main mechanisms of muscle growth, and so when we look to train our chest, we want to start off with heavy loads, ensuring we give them an adequate stimulus to grow. So now that we understand the theory behind my approach to chest training, let's go over the best way to structure your workouts to maximize both size and strength. Day 1, chest strength. Barbell bench press, 5 sets of 5 reps. The bench press is a staple in all chest building routines and should be included in both training days. Bench press 1 rep max is tightly correlated to pec size and strength, meaning the bigger your bench, the bigger your pecs. Execution tips. Focus on creating a stable arch in your spine through scapular retraction and depression. This will create more shoulder stability and allow you to lift from a stronger and safer position. Also, use your legs to help you lift the weight by driving them down into the floor. Incline press, 3 sets of 6 to 8 reps. This exercise trains both horizontal adduction and shoulder flexion, meaning it's a great exercise for targeting the chest, particularly the clavicular head, due to the angle of the exercise. Execution tips. For the setup, set the bench at about 45 degrees, as research shows this to elicit the highest activation in the clavicular head of the pec. Another tip is to actually let the elbows flare a bit to have a higher touching point, as this too will help shift more of the focus onto the upper pecs. Weighted dips, 3 sets of 8 reps. Dips are a great way to place more of an emphasis on the sternocostal head of the pecs. This is due to the level of shoulder extension. Not only does the dip create a lot of tension in your pecs, it forces you to create full body tension as well, which can help with force production and, more importantly, muscular activation. Execution tips. Lean forward slightly, as this will shift the load off of the triceps and onto the chest and stay under control throughout the entirety of the movement. Day 2. Chest hypertrophy. Bench press. 3 sets of 8 to 10 reps. The bench press is a fundamental exercise for chest growth. In fact, training routines that include only the bench press seem to be adequate to stimulate overall chest development. This time, however, we're going to slightly decrease the intensity in order to apply a bit more volume. Execution tips. On this day, slowing the tempo of your bench slightly, about 3 seconds on the negative, may help create a better mind-muscle connection. Low to high cable flies. 3 sets of 8 to 10 reps. This exercise focuses on the secondary function of the clavicular head, which is shoulder flexion. This movement takes emphasis off of the triceps, which are responsible for movement at the elbow joint, and instead isolates the pecs. Execution tips. Aim to bring your biceps together at the top of the rep. This internal cue will help you to get a greater mind-muscle connection with your pecs. Also, try to avoid too much movement at the elbow joint, as we want to focus on the chest without overly involving the front delts or shifting tension onto the biceps. Decline dumbbell press. 3 sets of 10 to 12 reps. Similar to the dips, this exercise puts the humerus in a higher degree of shoulder extension, shifting the focus onto the lower pec or sternocostal head. Execution tips. Keep your elbows tucked in order to shift the focus off of the shoulders and onto the chest. And don't forget to bring the dumbbells all the way down before initiating the lift. Half reps will only produce half results. So, there you have it, a science-based chest workout routine that provides enough total volume for the entire chest while also focusing on strength. Remember, the key to muscle growth with any program is progression. As long as you're gradually getting stronger or doing more work, you'll continue to grow. Did you find this video helpful? If so, click the like button below, as it'll truly help out the channel. Is there a muscle group you want a science-based workout routine for? Let me know in the comment section below and I'll make a video like this one. Also, if your training and nutrition are in order and you're looking for an extra edge, be sure to check out my science-based supplement line. Each product was created using scientifically proven ingredients, all clinically dosed and guaranteed to produce results. If you want to check those out, head over to musclemonsters.com/supplements or click the link in the description below. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe for more videos and don't forget to turn on post notifications so you don't miss the next one. Peace.